So this video is going to show you how to use something called the sine rule. Now you're used to doing trigonometry involving right-angled triangles, and that can be adapted into some other rules that help us to do other things when we don't have a right angle. So when you have a triangle something like this, where there's no right angle involved in it, we can actually apply some of the rules of trigonometry to help us figure out some missing items. First thing is being able to label this triangle properly. Now we have a certain way of doing this to help us remember what's what. So each of the angles inside you label with a capital letter. Each of the sides on the outside you label with a lowercase letter that matches the opposite angle. So right there we have a lowercase a opposite the angle that's capital A. Then we get the lowercase b opposite the capital B and lowercase c opposite capital C. Okay, now once we've got that labelled up right, we can go to the rule, which looks like this. It looks a little bit complicated, but it is actually really simple to use. So what that means is if you take the length of side A and divide it by sine of the angle A, it's equal to doing the same with the other pairs. So length of side B over the sine of angle B, length of side C divided by the sine of angle C, they're all going to come out to the same thing. They're all in the same ratio. We can even go as far as flipping the whole thing over. So you can actually put all of the angles on the top and the lengths on the bottom, and you choose which one you want to use depending on what it is that you're looking for. Now in practice we don't use all three of those at once. We'll do them in pairs. So you might want to only look at the B compared to C. That might be what's labelled on your diagram, or you might want the A compared to C, or whatever it is that you need. You just pick out the bits that are important to you. Alright, so make sure you write down that rule in both its forms. So I'm going to break up how to use this rule into two things. Either you're looking for a side or you're looking for an angle. So if you were finding a side, it would be something like this example here. So we've got a triangle with two angles marked as 58 degrees and 61 degrees, and one of the sides is marked as 12, and we're finding the side that's marked as x. Now the angle that's not marked and the side that's not marked, we don't need them. We only need 3 bits of information to be able to find a fourth, as long as they're all matching up in those opposite pairs of the angle with its opposite side and so on. So we first of all label what we want. Now the way to make this easiest is to label the thing you're looking for as A, and then the other things matching up afterwards. So we have that side X will be A and its opposite angle will be capital A, and that means the other one is the side is lowercase b and the angle is capital B. So now we write out the rule that we want to use, starting with the thing that we want to find out. So we want to find out x, which is the lowercase a. So we put that at the top and we write down the rest of the formula that we're interested in. Next, substitute in the values that we know. So we can replace the capital A and the B's to look like this. Now we need to rearrange. So at the moment it's saying x divided by sine 58 equals 12 over sine 51. So let's move that divided by sine 58 away from that x by multiplying by sine 58 like this. Then all you have to do is plug it into your calculator. Okay, finding an angle is very, very similar. You'll have one final step at the end where you undo the trig function that's happening, just like you did when you did Pythagoras and trigonometry before, when you were working with right-angled triangles. Right, so let's get an example. We've got a triangle here with some angles marked and some sides marked. This time we're looking for an angle. Again, label it with A, but because it's an angle we give it the capital A and the side on the outside is lowercase. Always give the angles your capitals and the sides your lowercases, which makes the other pair the B's. Right, we're looking for capital A, so use the form of that formula that has the capital A on the top. So we're looking for sine A over A equals sine B over B. Opposite way round to when we were looking for a side. Substitute in the values that we know about. So A is 15, capital B is 52, and lowercase b is 13. Again, we've got sine x being divided by 15, so we want to undo that part by multiplying by 15. So we get sine x is sine 52 over 13 times 15. Now, here's your final step, a little extra to what we had to do before. Because we're doing trig on this, because we're working with an angle, to find the angle itself, we need to use inverse sine. We're told that sine x here equals this sine 52 over 13 times 15, so we need to use inverse sine to work out what x is on its own. So you just press shift and sine on your calculator to get that inverse sine, plug it all in, and you've got your answer for what the missing angle was.